subjective judging, rail whispers, and calls that sting or you disagree with. Here's how to ride your plan without losing your edge. In this episode, we've got the Not My Job Circle, ABC pattern planning, a 15-second reset for pressure spikes, and a clean protocol for handling controversy. Fair play is strategic. Let's make it your advantage.
Welcome to the Resilient Reiner, the premier podcast focused on mental performance for equestrians and improved horse show performance. Whether you're a rookie reiner or a seasoned competitor, this show is for riders who want to take their skills to the next level and achieve their full potential in the show ring. I'm Nicole Burnett, and I'm a master mindset coach who's obsessed with helping you achieve all those horse dreams you always thought were impossible. Join me each week to develop a show-ready mindset and gain the competitive edge you need to compete with confidence.
Welcome back, friends. I'm your host, Nicole Burnett, and today's podcast is by special request. I have been DMing back and forth with a bunch of you on Instagram, and it has been so fun to both connect with you and also to hear the kind of podcast topics that you want me to cover. And oh my gosh, over and over, I was getting variations of questions about things related to competition. So know that I have a bunch of podcasts lined up in the can here where we're going to talk about all these different aspects of competition, and I'm so excited. So if there's something that you have a question about or you want me to do a podcast on, send me a DM on Instagram and I would love to hear from you. Okay, now back to the podcast. For this one, let me tell you a quick story from the rail. The pen was buzzing. It's that kind of low hum that, you feel in your gut, and you got a fresh drag, the gate's swinging, and the rider 2 slots ahead of me, they laid down a run that got a generous read. And I noticed that people are whispering about this, and somebody's saying, well, we know how this judge scores. And at that moment, I could feel 2 paths opening up. And one is to just spiral, right? Good old standby. Let's spiral. Let's build a case in my head. We're going to predict the outcome, tighten my hands. I'm going to ride the judge, not ride my horse. And the other path 2, is return to my plan. Horse first, pattern first. Focus on what I actually have any sort of control over. The line that I choose, the tempo, the timing, all these sorts of things that I have any sort of direct control over. And I chose path 2. Not because I'm saintly, not by a long shot, but because I've tried path 1 and it rides tight, it rides small. The other rider is always going to get their score. Their score is their score. But when you ride yours, when I ride my own ride, my score and my ride, it gets better, it gets cleaner. And over the course of a season, that choice compounds, working in your favor. Champions don't deny reality. They decide how to ride inside of it, right? Given these things that are outside of your control, and how to ride inside of it with integrity, with strategy and presence. Like I said, I got so many messages this week talking about and asking about the competitive scene, questionable calls, barn politics, mean girls, worries about horse welfare. And all of that is so real. And I really felt in these messages that you guys wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to do a short series on competing with integrity. And today's focus is, how do you ride your best in subjective events when the field doesn't feel level, right? It doesn't feel fair maybe, and how to keep your head clean so that your ride stays clean. Because I am here as your mental coach, all right? And I'm going to help you today on navigating competition and navigating fair play when it doesn't always feel that way. And so what can you do mentally to deal with that? So let me start here. The line that I draw and that I invite you to draw as well is this: we win by managing inputs, not imaginary variables, right? This is something I do all the time with my clients. Is we'll start with this big picture and these feelings, and then we have to get it down to something very, very tangible. So we're starting where ROI, which is return on investment, to make sure I'm clarifying my terms. If you're new to the podcast, my background is in math, statistics, econ. So I love looking at data, and we're going to talk about ROI, return on investment. And that ROI, where ROI is greatest, is you as the writer, right? So many people don't think about this or don't realize that your biggest ROI is always yourself. This is huge, right? So here's the standard that I use and the one that I would recommend that you adopt. 3 things. 1, horse first. Horse first, always. Horse first, rules first. So clean horsemanship, non-negotiable. Just real basic. Can you sleep with yourself at night? Like, don't overthink this, okay? But just give it the sniff test, all right? Horse first. And 2, bringing in that mental side. Focus is my currency. And so focus is your currency too. If it doesn't change my next decision, it does not get my attention. Your time and attention is literally your most valuable asset. Protect it so fiercely. And 3, I raise the standard. Let your ride be the protest. Let your behavior be the protest. Lead by example. So that's the line that I draw, and I invite you to draw. Now, next up, we're going to cover what you can't control, because when you go out in the world, there's so much that you literally can't do anything about, okay? And so what is that? We want to clarify if this is a thing that you have any control over, and the pro response that you can have, all right? So for this part, draw a little circle. You can draw it in the air. You can draw it on a piece of paper, but draw a circle. Label it. Not my job, okay? Let me say that again. Label this circle. Not my job, okay? Now, everything in here is going to get blessed. It's going to get released, and we're going to work around it. Got it? All right, so what goes in here? Judge preference. I know, honey. But it's a thing, all right? What color horse do you like? Do you like grays? Do you like bays? Do you like bird style or bulldog style build on your horse? I was watching classes at the AQHA Congress, and it was so fascinating. And I had clients there, and so I was watching all these different classes, and it was fascinating to see how different judges would place the exact same class. Like, you'd have people being, first here and then like 8th here or 2nd to 15. I mean, it could be all over the place, right? It was fascinating. You have to understand that when there is any level of subjectivity, you can get subjectivity, all right? Like, judging is a thing, and it doesn't mean that these are bad judges. I mean, there is subjectivity within the rules, all right? Because every judge will emphasize certain qualities within the rules. It does not mean they are a bad judge. It does not mean that they are not doing their best to do the job to the best of their ability. It means that people see different things, and every judge will emphasize certain qualities within the rules. What is your response? So here's what you're going to say to yourself in that moment. I ride my pattern, not their opinion. Your job is to build a plan that scores anywhere. We're talking clean, straight lines, consistent tempo, accuracy, accurate pattern placement, and the degree of difficulty that suits your horse today. And thankfully, most judges, they truly try really hard to be good at their job, okay? So, judge preference. Your job is to build a plan that scores anywhere. Now, next step. What else goes in not your job? Things like running order, the footing, gait chaos, not in your wheelhouse, okay? This is not your job. So sometimes 5 riders in front of you, they all scratch, and then they yell, "You're up," across the pen while you're struggling to swallow the bite of hot dog that you thought that you actually had time to chew before swallowing. So what is your response? When this happens, we've got this, chaos, right? Micro routine. Micro routine is going to be your friend. And this is exactly what I work with my clients on inside the Mental Gym for Equestrians. We go deep into a personalized pre-ride power-up to get them in the zone every single time on demand, and no thinking required, just execution. But this is key. Have a micro routine so that you can get in the zone on demand every time. Okay, so what else goes in this circle of not my job? There's the third thing here. So under the not my job, we have judge preferences, gait chaos, running order, and third thing, other people's ethics. Different strokes for different folks, okay? This is the saying. When you see something that you disagree with, here's the question. Ask, does this endanger the horse or rider? Or do you just hate, kind of, maybe you don't like that person, right? So we have to remember there are different ways to do things, and they're not all bad, right? Like if you're going to cut a pizza, you can cut it in the triangles. You could cut it in squares. You could cut it in strips, right? So when other people are doing things, if someone is just a dunce, let it go. If they are drawing blood, obviously document it, report it through the proper channel, and release it. The key here is don't let things just have mental rent in your head because people are different, all right? Okay, you cannot control other people. Now, circle number 2, what you can control. And you're going to build your unfair advantage here. So circle number 2 here, what you can control, this is your ROI territory. These are the inputs that you choose, the habits that you execute, the standards that you keep, and this is where momentum lives. So number 1, preparation that travels, okay? Know your horse, know yourself, know it like a scientist, like a sniper. Most riders just go in there and wing it to varying degrees. You won't. You will pre-build 3 levels of performance, okay? So that your brain isn't guessing in the pen. There is no guessing. It is selecting. That alone is a massive unfair advantage. So let me tell you what these 3 levels of performance that you're going to prepare are. The first level, A, is your pattern, the baseline. A is baseline. This is the clean, repeatable run that you can just hit on a Tuesday, no drama, solid zeros plus halves, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. This is level A, your baseline. B, add a little spice, okay? This is one safe bump up in difficulty when the warm-up goes really well and the warm-up gives you the green light to push a little bit. So you know that this is your safe level, this is your bump up in difficulty level. So B, adding a little spice. Love it. And C, This is your save the run level of performance, right? This is the conservative version that you run when the warm-up goes sideways. When you're like, ooh, wow, this is not clicking. Okay, this is how we're going to save the run. So again, A is your baseline. B, add a little spice. C, save your run, all right? And you need to know what each of those looks like for you and your horse. There is no reason why you can't do this. This is something that most riders overlook. There's no reason to. And if you are a rail class rider, same concept. Define your A, B, and C levels. So positioning, passes, transitions, your ring craft, all of that, okay? And know exactly what each looks and feels like. Now, why this works. When everybody else is just reacting, you are choosing, and prepped options beat panic every time. Okay, number 2, things that are in your control. Your mental operating system. This is your bread and butter here, all right? You have a mental operating system. Did you know that? This is how I describe to my clients what we are doing, that we are upgrading your mental operating system. So, translation. Fewer decisions, faster decisions, better rides. Sounds good, right? When the pressure spikes, which it does at a show, you don't try harder, you just run the program. We want to make it easy. We don't want to be making decisions at a show. We want to be selecting and running a program. Now, what does this look like? This means training your baseline so that focus and confidence, which, by the way, these are skills that you train, not blessings that you pray for, right? So we got to train your baseline. So focus and confidence are there for you and with you. This means having a protocol to get in the zone before your run and to effectively debrief after, so that you can figure out if that judge, maybe they did really have it out for you, or maybe they actually had some constructive criticism that you can take home and work on at home. All right. Third thing that's within your control, where you compete. People overlook this one so much. You do not have to play every game on the schedule, all right? Rooms have energy. Choose the ones that pay you back. Here's a filter to help you pick your shows. So things like culture check. Does this pen feel respectful? Does it feel horse first? If not, pass. Format fit. The classes, the ground, right? Everybody's obsessed with ground for good reason. Patterns, schedule. Do they set your horse up to shine, right? And your focus ROI. Will this show build skills that you need next month or just burn weekends? So there's no right or wrong, but be aware of where you are competing. So if a show kills your focus or it kills your horse's joy, it's a no. It's a no for me, dog. No apology, no drama. Find the events where you and your horse leave better than when you arrived. Results follow that. And yes, you can go to events just because they're fun to compete at and they have good vibes and good ground. I have heard such good things from the, what do they call it? But the like over 50 AQHA show over the winter in Arizona, that people love that show. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's on my list now. I'm not old enough yet to qualify, but I'm totally going because people love that show. They say it's so fun. I've also not gone to shows because I didn't like the vibes, or I've not competed in events because I didn't want to ride at midnight. That's fine. I have gone to shows where you're like, oh my gosh, I love this show because it's so family friendly. They have cute decorations. They're welcoming of my kids. I love being here. Go, because you're having a good time. If you're not, something is wrong. Let's fix it. And here's a one-liner you can use. We're choosing shows that align with our plan for this season. I'll catch you at the next one, right? Just because a show is close or far away, pick ones that are good for you. All right. Now, the fourth thing that goes in this circle, ethics as a performance enhancer. When you're clean, you're free. No bandwidth wasted on hiding, on spinning, on second guessing. Clarity is going to show up in your rides. You're walk around, you're free as a bird when you have no idea what's got somebody's panties in a wad. Okay, so let it go. So these are the four things that go in your circle number 2, which is things that you can control. So your preparation that travels, having your ABC levels of performance, your mental operating system, where you compete, and that ethics is a performance enhancer. All right, now let me give you a little bit of a field guide here for gray area versus red flag. And basically, when you're out in the field, aka at a horse show, some things, they're a gray area where reasonable people can disagree. And some things are red flags where you'd be ashamed if your mama saw you behave like that, okay? So a gray area, things like style preferences, polish levels, schooling intensity within the rules. Your strategy is to learn the meta of this pen and just never betray your horsemanship. Red flags. These are things like rule violations, welfare concerns, pattern manipulation, unsportsmanlike conduct. So your strategy is just facts over stories. Facts over stories, just simple facts, time, place, what you saw. If you're going to report it once and detach. Okay? So the whole point here is do not get sucked into any mental anguish, any mental energy here, because that's what we're here is to keep you focused and on track. And most things are not your circus, not your monkeys. All right? Now, if somebody else plays dirty, you get to choose either report or release. Like, don't get sucked into nothing, okay? Transmute your frustration into 2 extra reps on your weakest maneuver. Like, let it go. All right. And if your score feels off, I can offer you constructive help here. So use your score sheet plus your video, because you should be having a video of your ride. Pair that sheet with your run video, and you're going to see exactly where points moved. So look for one thing to improve. Write it down and iterate in your next practice. And hey, if you truly disagree with the judging after reviewing your run, slap your knee, say, I see it differently, I disagree, and move on. Winners don't litigate the past. They upgrade their next attempt, okay? But never forget that you can get a lot of value if you use your score sheet and the video. See if you can see what the judge saw and how you got that score. Now, I'm going to give you something you can steal here. This is the champion's code. Just a few points that I put together here. 1, I compete clean even when no one's watching. 2, I compete against myself, because let me tell you, you are your best and worst competition always. It is always competing against yourself forever and a day, okay? No matter who's there. 3, I prepare so thoroughly that variance can't beat me twice. You got this. 4, I control my controllables, and I have many. 5, I turn setbacks into systems. 6, I let my riding speak louder than my complaints. Now, I get it. It can really sting sometimes, and your results don't match the effort that you put in. So use the 24-hour rule. This means no big decisions, no big stories. Write 3 truths. Write down one about you, one about your horse, and one about what you'll improve. Then schedule your next practice block, all right? Momentum is medicine. Fair play isn't naive. It is strategic. Clean competitors sleep better, learn faster, and last longer. In a controversial world, that is your edge. The world won't always be fair. No one will love you like your mama. Ride brave, ride clean, raise the standard. And when you're ready to turn nerves into a plan that you can ride under pressure, join me in 5 Days to Confident Competitor. This is 5 days of audio-based training, one big shift for you, only $33. And when you are ready for daily mental training to hardwire focus, confidence, and calm, get my complete rider training program in the mental gym for equestrians. Thank you so much for being here on this podcast. If you love this podcast, share it with a friend. If you hate this podcast, share it with an enemy, and send me a DM on Instagram what you thought today. All right. Thanks again, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.